And it is time to get started. Hey, welcome to AtTheTrack.live. I am Coach James. I am the creator and lead instructor for All About Aerodynamics. What is All About Aerodynamics, you ask? Glad you asked, even if you didn't ask. All About Aerodynamics is a science program where I use Hot Wheels cars to teach kindergarten through 6th grade students about a range of science and physics-related topics, including, but not limited to, force, friction, aerodynamics, drag, lift, Isaac Newton and his 3 laws of motion, kinetic energy, potential energy, elastic force, a whole range of topics. After we have learned all of the science, after we've conducted experiments to drive home those concepts, then and only then do I bring in about 400 different Hot Wheels cars, and each student has the opportunity to select a car that they think would be fastest in a series of races based on everything that they have learned in the class. After they have selected their cars, they make observations about their cars, they weigh their cars, they test the speed of their cars, they check the year the car was manufactured, they check the materials the car is made from. They enter all of that information into a spreadsheet, and after they have collected all that data and information, then we set up a 1/64 scale quarter-mile drag strip, and we have a series of races, and the students get a chance to observe how their cars perform. Did their cars perform up to or below their expectations? And if they had the opportunity, would they select those cars again, or would they make a different choice based on everything they have observed? So in the end, we have fun with Hot Wheels cars, we learn science. What could be better? If you would like more information about our science program, all about aerodynamics, and how to bring that to your school or your organization or your special event, all you have to do is go to our website, aaAerodynamics.com, or you can follow us on Instagram, aaAerodynamics. All the information you need is in the bio, and you can contact me. You can learn more about the class, and we can see what we can do. But this is not all about aerodynamics. This is all about aerodynamics presents AtTheTrack.live. So what is AtTheTrack.live? AtTheTrack.live is where I have the opportunity to bring new cars into the fleet so that I can catalog those cars, and then they can be available for the students to use in the program. And every week I go into storage, pull out some cars, bring those, crack those open. I have to take a picture, I have to take a short little video because there's an online version of the class, and catalog the cars, give them a number, make them ready, make them available. It was a boring process, so I came up with AtTheTrack.live as a way to make it a little more entertaining for myself. And then I figured that since it was live, we have the opportunity to let you participate. So all you have to do is go to AtTheTrack.live, and you will have 3 options. You're going to have the YouTube stream link, the Twitch stream link, which you don't need if you're already here. Third link is the most important link. That is the link that says choose your car. When you select that link, you will be taken to this page. And on this page, you will have the opportunity to scroll through all of the cars that are currently in the All About Aerodynamics AtTheTrack.live fleet. They are all cataloged, they are numbered. You can click on a car and see a close-up picture and decide, maybe that's the car that I want. And why are you picking a car? You're picking a car because you are trying to find the fastest car of the day. I am going to introduce a handful of cars into the fleet, and then you have the opportunity to scroll through, find the car that you want, and you can take that number, because all the cars are numbered. So if you think it's this one, the Scupa de Fuego, you can click on it, take a look, see that it is looks to be a plastic body on a metal base. And if that's the car you want, you take the number, in this case 216, you drop that in the chat, and then I will pull that car and we will put it on the track and see what you can do against the other cars. So we're going to have viewers that have picked cars. We're going to have the cars that I introduce, and we're going to have that tournament. After we have that tournament, a car is going to come out. It's going to be today's winner. That car is then going to have the opportunity to go up against our fastest in fleet car, which is currently and has been for the last 8 months out of the last 12. It has been this car. It has been the Blitz Speeder. It is the Blitz Speeder. This is the fastest Hot Wheels car on the planet, and it was the champion for about 4 months last year. Then it lost a race, came back, beat the car that beat it, and it has been our fastest in fleet car for the last 4 months or so. And really, the races that it's had have not been close. Maybe that changes today. We've got some cars that are already lined up that viewers have selected, and we are going to find out which car is going to have the opportunity to take out the Blitz Speeder. Hey, Virgo, Roughshod, Beyblade, how you doing? I see that Roughshod already has his picks ready to go. He's like, I always say it's like a quarterback. You throw that interception and you just brush it off and move on to the next play. So he'll pick a car, it'll race, and whether it wins, whether it loses, once it's all done, boom, he has the next car ready to go. Beyblade also had a car picked, and so let's go ahead and take a look. I'll pull those cars in a little bit. So let's see. Roughshod picked 266, which has been part of both picks have a theme to them. 266. Okay, so he went with the RDO 4. He's going with the RDO 6 and the RDO something else, like 2 and 6. So I guess he decided to hit 4. This is an interesting car because this is not like the others. The other RDO cars have a totally different look. This is more kind of like a little SUV safari kind of wagon thing. I don't know, but we're gonna see. Sometimes it's the most unusual picks that produce some surprises on the track, and we'll see if this one can do it. And then Beyblader, he has been picking what is it? Oh, cop cars. And he's going with the Rogue Hog, which is number 317. And so he picked the Speed Trap and then the Alpha Pursuit, which are two fantasy police cars. And now he's going with this one, the Rogue Hog. And I think, even though this one has been, this is one from my son's collection that he played with when he was a kid. Even though this one clearly has been played with, I think from a design standpoint, I think this is probably the best of the picks. That Alpha Pursuit was good, but the sirens on the top stuck up a little bit, and in my opinion, it may have produced just enough drag to slow that car down just a bit. But I like this car. It has been picked. I've seen students pick this one before, and it's performed well. But like I said, it's usually about matchups. Like, what car are you matched up against? And we're going to see how the matchups work out today. So we've got the Rogue Hog. We have the RDO 4. And hey, Chris, I was just about to bring up that Christopher's selection. He picked a more recent addition to the fleet, which is the Oracle Red Bull F1 car, which is, let's see, right here. It is this one. And so this one raced, like now we have 800, and I just finished up the cleaning up and adding cars in. So we're at about 882 cars in the fleet. And so this one being 802 would have raced a few months back, and we're going to see how it performs. It's pretty interesting. Christopher actually sent me an email that showed me some of the other cars that he has in this group, and all of the cars, they're all the same design. Like the car is physically the same, but the colors and the decals and the logos are different. So I think this is going to be a good representative of those F1 cars. And we actually put this car in the wind tunnel on Wednesday and took a look. But with this car, because of the design and it's so narrow and the style of the car, there really wasn't a lot that we could tell by putting the car in the wind tunnel. And sometimes the wind tunnel is good to give us more information. Other times it just doesn't work out just because of the design of the car. But that is something that we do every Wednesday. We have Wind Tunnel Wednesday, and we have the Funtech Labs 1/64th scale wind tunnel called the Runsible. And we take these cars, we put them in the wind tunnel, and we see how the air flows over, under, and around those cars. And it actually gives us a better idea about how much drag is going to impact these cars when they're racing on our track. As we know, the faster an object moves through the air, the more drag has an impact. And our cars are moving extremely fast down our track, and drag absolutely has an impact. So cars that can reduce the effects of drag more so than the other cars will have a chance to be move faster, longer on the track and not slow down as quickly. The Blitz Speeder is pretty much the ideal. When we put it in the wind tunnel, the way that the air is flowing over the car, and we go into more detail on Wednesdays, it's pretty much perfect. And I think that's why the Blitz Speeder doesn't lose as much speed on the track as some of the other cars. So if you are thinking about different cars, you narrow it down to 2 or 3 cars. A good thing to do, put them in the wind tunnel on Wednesday, take a look, and it'll help you kind of narrow down which which car that you want to go with ultimately. And that's what Christopher did. He had 2 cars that he was considering, looked at them in the wind tunnel, and decided to go with this Oracle Red Bull racing car. So we're going to see what happens with that. And we've got, the Blitz Speeder. The Blitz Speeder is something else. And like I said, looking at it in the wind tunnel, you just see that there's a difference between how the air is flowing over the Blitz Speeder and how it flows over some other cars, and that makes a difference. And what you see is the Blitz Speeder maintains a higher rate of speed down the track because it's not slowing down as quickly, because it's not being as impacted by drag. And there are 3 forces: drag, gravity, and friction, that are working against the cars, but drag is the thing that the wind tunnel helps us see. Speaking of the wind tunnel, so it's every Wednesday at 4 p.m. We're on Twitch, YouTube, and Instagram because we just have a vertical format. And I was waiting on this. I've been waiting on it for the last few weeks. It finally showed up, but it showed up on Thursday instead of Wednesday. So it is this. It is the Funtech Labs Runsible. And what this is open this package up here. It is a little USB powered dyno. And basically what we can do, I don't know if this is the proper, you can adjust it, but we'll be able to put the car on there, plug it in, turn it on, and it will actually make the wheels spin. So kind of simulates the car in motion. But what's most important is that it is wide enough that it can fit into the Runsible. So it fits into the wind tunnel. And what it's going to do is it's going to lift the car up just enough that now we're going to be able to see the airflow, hopefully underneath the car as well. Because most of these cars sit so low that the airstreams come in. There's 4 or 5 airstreams. And the cars sit so low that they're usually only affected by the first airstream. And the others are just flowing in the air. So now the car is going to be raised up a bit. So we should get to see some different results. So this is the Funtech Labs Runsible. I haven't tested it out. It's a new product from the same people that made the wind tunnel. And the wind tunnel has been pretty good. I don't have any major complaints with it. There are definitely things that I see from the Discord that they're working on to improve and fix. But, you know, a year ago, it didn't even exist. It was a Kickstarter campaign, and they got enough funding. They produced it. So as a first-time product, I think it's working out pretty well. It's got some little quirks and issues here and there, but I'm happy with it. So hopefully on Wednesday we'll hook up the Runsible, get the cars in there, get the wheels spinning, and it should be pretty interesting. But we have cars to get to today, and yesterday I went over to the Mattel headquarters is about 10 minutes from here, over in El Segundo, and I went to their headquarters, and at the bottom of the building they have a factory store, and so you can go in there and they have things some sales and discounts, and sometimes things are really cheap. But they were having a summer sale, which was this big outdoor thing where they have all kinds of stuff for sale. I was looking around at the Hot Wheels stuff, and it was pretty much just those giant kind of track setups with different little gimmicks and things. So I didn't buy any of those. I went in the store and did pick up a few things. So we were talking last week. I was asking Neverending if he had raced any Blitz Speeders on his gravity track, because I wanted to find out if the Blitz Speeder was as fast on the gravity track as it was on our flat drag track. And he said that he hadn't found a Blitz Speeder, but then someone said that they were about to re-release Blitz Speeders as a mainline car coming up. And so when I was at the store, I actually saw a Blitz Speeder. And the reason why it looks like that is because it's green, and there's a green screen, so it doesn't look whatever. But I just picked one up because we've done this before with another Blitz Speeder. And we just raced this Blitz Speeder, or that Blitz Speeder, against our current champion Blitz Speeder, just to see, you know, is it the design of the car, or is it that car specifically? And that's kind of the question. The last time it was a very competitive race, but our Blitz Speeder, the one that's currently the champion, was the winner. So we're gonna do that with this one, just to see what the outcome is, how that's gonna work out. And so we will do that. And okay, let's see, Virgo. Car number 171. Let's go ahead and see which car that is. 171. Okay, going with this one. The Horseplay with the Chippendale Disney design. But this car is interesting because it's pretty compact. It looks like it's plastic, probably on a metal base. So I'm thinking, sort of initially, I'm thinking the weight should be right. And let me just grab a pen so I can write the number down so I can pull that car later. And this is car number 171. I don't know that this car's been picked, but in looking at it, the back of it is flat, so that should give it a good solid push out of the launcher. So we're gonna see what happens with that car. So I'll pull that one a little later. And let's see. Back to the cars. Let's see, Christopher, bring up the photos. No, I can't access the photos because they're on a different computer. But yeah, I might download those and have them available maybe Wednesday. But also, when I was at the Mattel store, I saw this 2-pack, and I picked this up because this is one of the cars that Christopher had mentioned before, the Drone Duty. And I'm pretty sure that somewhere in storage I have one, but since I saw it there, I decided to pick it up. So this will be the first car that we introduce into the fleet. We'll take a look at today. I don't know what this other car that's above it, if that happens to be a car that we don't have in the fleet, then I will, we can add that one in too. And hey, Beyblader, this is also, it's got Police Squad on it, so it might be another police car that you want to pick. So we got that. Then I picked up this 8-pack, but I only picked it up because I wanted this car. And I couldn't see what the name was, so I couldn't check the spreadsheet. So I'm hoping it's a car that we don't already have in the fleet. But it's got that same kind of F1 racing style. But what I noticed was this big flat kind of wing in the back. And I think that reminded me of what the BlitzSpeeder has. And so I'm like, I think this might be a good car to pick. But I couldn't see the name of the car. So I don't know if it's one that I already have in the fleet, but we're going to find out. So I'm going to crack this open, get that car out. And then I picked up this on the way out, a mystery model, which I've seen these in Walmart before, and you just pick it up. You can't see into the package. I don't know what it is, so maybe it's something that we already have. Maybe we don't. I don't know. So these are some of the cars that we're going to introduce, and then I'll pull the cars that you all have picked, and then we'll hit the track. That's pretty much how it goes. So let's go ahead and, well, I'll open up the this Drone Duty. Take a look at that, because Christopher has mentioned that car before. And I saw a picture of it that he sent. So let's go ahead and take a look. This other car, this red car is the Night Shifter, which I'm going to check the spreadsheet because we may already have one. And if we have one, then we're not going to have a second one. Yep, we already have a Night Shifter, number 61. So this Night Shifter looks good, but it's going to be a looking good prize car that one of the students will have an opportunity to win. Now with this Drone Duty, I thought, okay. Well, let's go ahead and first let me weigh it, see what it weighs. We know that the BlitzSpeeder, our current fastest in fleet car, weighs in at 32.4 grams, and that is right within the sweet spot. This Drone Duty weighs 33 grams, which is interesting because it's so much bigger. Let's go ahead and switch over here. Take a look at this, and I can already feel. I've got to figure out what's going on with this camera. I can already feel it's hot. So I'm not going to try and take the videos now just because it's, what's the point if I know that the camera is going to overheat? But so let's see. Christopher is saying that the top comes up. I think the plastic part can be in the wind tunnel. Yeah, so I'll try and pull it off. Is it supposed to come off? Perhaps it is, because right now looking at it, it looks like it's got way too much this frontal area, and then with whatever's going on up here, there's a little hole. So then the air seems like it's going to flow in there, but there's just a large frontal area, and I think that when the air hits this front part, it's going to just release from the body of the car. It's not going to follow the lines of the car, which we go into on Wednesday, why that's important, why it's important for the air to stay attached to the body of the car as it flows over. With this one, I don't think that's going to happen. Another of my little pet peeves, it's got two different wheels types. There's some cars where these look good, but most cars, they don't. This one, we'll see. We'll see. I like these. I like the those 5-spoke wheels. I'm gonna see if I can pull this off. It seems like usually when they have these gimmick cars, it's not difficult to pull them to, make the gimmick part happen. So this isn't coming off easily. Oh, there it is. I don't know. Okay, so now there's that part, and then there's this part. Now, without the top, I think it would do better on the track. I think it would have a better performance and chance to do better on the track without that big plastic top. And maybe that's what it is. Is this supposed to be the drone part, and that's the car? So yeah, I think it is, because it's got the little fans there. Oh, I see. Okay, so this is the drone, and I guess that's the whole gimmick there, and then it comes back there and snaps in. Okay, so we might actually have to do a test, and we'll race it with the drone in place, and then we'll come back and perhaps race it without the drone. So let me just go ahead and get the still picture for the record. And the drone duty is going to be entered into, actually, I should probably change out the background so you can see a little bit more contrast. Right there. All right, that's better. And we've got the drone duty. Just a bit, and this is now first car into fleet today. This is car number 800, and I was just going through these last night to update the website, and we are at car number, this is 883. Technically it's 884, but it's just, let's see, drone duty. I don't know. My bet, if I had to bet, I would say that with the drone part taken off, this car is going to perform better. But again, it's all about the matchups, and if this car goes up against, let's say, I don't know, the Rogue Hog, it's probably going to have a tough time. But it only weighs 33 grams, which is surprising because it looks so big. But that the whole drone insert is plastic, so I guess that's what explains it. So we've got the drone duty car number 883, new into the fleet, and we will see what happens with that car. Next up, why don't we go ahead and see what the mystery car is. Mystery models. It doesn't give me any indication about what I might find. Like, I've seen some where it shows the types of cars that you could possibly get. This isn't one of them. So this, we have got... What is this? We have a... What is this? Project Speeder. I don't know that we have one of these. And it comes... Oh, I guess I could have looked here. It comes with a little sticker. Let me just double check the spreadsheet. Make sure we do not have a Project Speeder. I've never even... Doesn't sound familiar. P, we have a Praying Menace, a Proton Saga. We do not have a Project Speeders, but now we do. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at this one. It weighs in at 31.6 grams, so just slightly under where we'd like to see the cars, ideally. The sweet spot is between 32 and 36 grams. Let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and take a chance and try and take this video. I have a feeling this thing will, in fact, overheat, but no risk, no reward. The Project Speeder. All right, so while that is going, I will enter the information into the spreadsheet. What I do like is it's kind of an open wheel car, but the bumper extends just out enough that it looks like it can protect those front wheels and protect the axle. So that's good. Hey, Never Ending Hot Wheels Racing Simulator. He's changed the name of his channel. Okay, he's saying that he is going to he's going to make a wild pick today, and sometimes that's what you got to do. You have to take chances. Sometimes the standard kind of safe choices just get standard safe results, and if you want something bigger and better to happen, you got to make that bold pick. So we'll see what he goes with. This car, I kind of like this. It's I like the stance. It's very unique. I don't know about not having fenders, but okay. It's got a cool look, and I wouldn't be surprised if this car does well on the track. We will see. We were fortunate to get the I was able to get the video without the camera overheating, so that's a plus. And I think I'm gonna need to put that background in again. We've got these very dark cars with the dark background. Also, I think the light may have shifted at some point. All right, now let's get this picture in here. Okay, so Chris was saying there's the Project Speeder, and then there's also the Muscle Speeder. We definitely have a Muscle Speeder, and I believe it's red, and I like that one a lot. Let's see here. Let's go. All right. Let's get my lights adjusted here. And now we have a Project Speeder. Boom, we've got that. And we have the drone duty. We are ready to go. Let's see what else we have today. So there was the other package. Where is it? This one that I picked up, and like I said, I only wanted this car. I don't know what the name is, so I ended up picking this whole thing up, but it was on discount because it's at the Mattel store. So let's pull this out and see. This car has no name on the back. Okay, so maybe I'm gonna put it up here, and maybe one of you know what car this is. You can take a look. We've got a lot of Hot Wheels experts. Switch over to this view. Does anybody recognize? Let's see what else is in this pack. A Corvette C8R, have that, and there's a silver Volkswagen Bug, which that's kind of cool. What's this other car? This is a yeah, if you can figure out the name, there's some ways. Usually there'll be some little information on the bottom of the car. If it's not the name, it'll be there's a little code or something. It says DH. You can see it there. It's DHN88. If anybody, I don't know if that's enough to look it up, but DHN88. That's all that's on there. So for now, you know. Oh, okay. Thank you, Christopher. Formula Flashback. So all right, let me check the spreadsheet and see if we have a Formula Flashback. I appreciate you finding that information. Formula Flashback. Let's see. Formula Flashback. I don't think we have one. I think we might be good right there. Wait, Formula. We have a Formula E Gen 2, Gen 3, Formula Solar, Formula Street, Formulator. But all right, we don't have this one. Formula Flashback. This is going to be the next car entered into the fleet. This is going to be car number 885. Formula Flashback. And let's go ahead and I'll take the still picture first. And what I like about this car is that wing in the back. And I think that it should give it a pretty good push out of the starting block. And we will see if this car actually perform. I think of the different Formula One style cars and the Indy cars that we've had on the track, I think this one, if I can get the turntable spinning the right way, there we go. I think this one has as good a shot as any of those, and maybe even better. I really like that wing in the back, because essentially when I'm looking at cars now, I'm thinking about the BlitzSpeeder, and I'm looking for cars that kind of have a BlitzSpeedery vibe to them, and with that long wing in the back, that's what I saw, and that reminded me of the BlitzSpeeder. And when we put the car in the wind tunnel, the fact that the BlitzSpeeder has that long wing in the back coming right off the roof line the air never separates until it reaches the end of that wing and passes off the back of the car. So we'll see what this car can do. The Formula Flashback, once again, thank you, Christopher, for getting that information. And then we're going to take a look after this at Neverending's pick of, he says he went bigger and he went bolder and better. So we're going to see which car that is right after this one comes around. All right, and so we've got a little video here. We've got the Formula Flashback as part of the fleet, and now let's see which car Neverending has picked to challenge all of the rest. Car number 304 is what he's going with. 304. 304 is, oh wow. Only one other, I've had one student who picked the Invader, which is this tank. And I remember when she picked it, I was asking her, are you sure? And she was like, yeah. And I asked her again, are you sure you're sure? And she was like, yeah, I'm sure. And so the thing is, I don't mind whatever car the students pick. I always just want them to have a rationale and a reason why they picked it. And so she explained to me that it was something about like the extra wheels and the size and this and that. So this is a wild pick, and I give you credit for going. You went big, you went bold, and you are one of two people who has ever picked this one to race. Wow. Okay. We're gonna see what happens with this one. So we've got the Invader, we've got that Horseplay, we've got the Rogue Hog, we've got the RD04, and we've got the what was it just called? The Formula Flashback. We've got the Red Bull Oracle Red Bull Racing car. We've got a good lineup here with a big mixture. And this one, the biggest of them all, is gonna see, like, it's got that flat back end and it's heavy. It should hold it. So that's the thing. It's heavy, I believe, because I want to say that all that silver part is metal. Even if it's plastic, this is probably going to be pretty heavy, probably up around high 30s into the low 40s in terms of grams. Heavy cars on our track, because it is a flat drag track, heavy cars tend to get impacted by gravity toward the back end of the car. So it's a little it's challenging for the heavier cars, put it like that. But we'll find out what this one weighs in a little while after I pull it. And the aerodynamics aren't working in its favor either. So this one's gonna have a lot to overcome. It's gonna have to overcome the drag. It's gonna have to overcome the size factor, the weight. So it's got a lot going on, but it just depends on matchups. So we'll see what this one can do. That's a bold choice. I give you credit for the boldness of the choice. That's regardless of how it turns out. That's a bold pick. All right, so we've got I keep forgetting the name of that, Formula Flashback, and we already pulled the mystery car. We pulled the drone duty. We pulled that. So let's see. we could probably go with one more. I'll add in one more. Let's see. We can go with, since we're doing things in a kind of unusual way, let's go ahead and throw in a, let's see, should we throw in a Matchbox car? I'll leave those two out. We could go with this. We could try this one, this Dune Crusher. And I'm picking this because it reminds me of the car that Roughshod picked. And I think, like I said, it's all, you know, always about matchups. And I think that might be a good opening matchup. These two kind of crossover SUV style things. Plus, we've never had a car with these off-road style wheels do well on the track, so maybe this is the day that happens. Let me just check and make sure we don't already have one of these in the fleet. A, B, C, D. We have Dune It Up, but we do not have a Dune Crusher. We do now, and this is part of the Baja Blazers series, so let's crack this open and take a look. Yeah, Christopher, you get credit. You get credit. You get the credit for finding that name and Formula. I don't know why I can't remember. Formula Flashback. I'm sure we're gonna get out to the track and I'm gonna forget what the name is. Formula Flashback. All right, the Dune Crusher weighs in at 30.6 grams. So it's a bigger car, but it's actually lighter than I would have thought. So let's go ahead and take a look here. Oh, look here at the Dune Crusher. And as it comes around, I'll go ahead and take the video. And I think with a lot of these cars, I mean, I keep being surprised by the weight, but what's happening is the bodies are plastic. And the interiors are plastic, and really you're only talking about metal for the base, so that kind of accounts for why they're so, like, what the weight situation is. But let's see. This is the Dune Crusher, and with the Formula Flashback, I didn't check the manufacturing year. That is 2016. 2016. The Dune Crusher. I think the only car this is likely to be competitive with is well, no, I take that back. Never Ending's Tank and Roughshod's SUV. But I think these wheels, the same way I used to talk about those little thin disc wheels, I've never seen a car do well with those until one did. I've never seen a car with these off-road tires do well, but maybe this car will be the exception to that rule, and maybe it's a sleeper. I don't know. I am surprised about the weight, though. That is definitely working in its favor. That it's not as heavy as it looks. So we've got that going for it. Let's go ahead and see, I pushed my luck with the video. So what we'll do is come back over here while this camera cools off, and I will go and pull all of these other cars. So we're talking about the RDO4, the Rogue Hog, the Horseplay, and the Invader. So I'm going to go pull these cars. Then I'll come back. The camera should be cooled off. I'll get the picture of the Dune Crusher. We'll check out these other cars, and then we'll be ready to hit the track. So, Virgo, here we go with the bathroom break music while I go and grab the cars. I'll be back in a minute or two. those trays, flush it. Okay, so took me a minute to find find a couple of the cars because one was not where it should have been. So I will have to fix that later. But for right now, let me grab the picture of the Dune Crusher and get this car entered into the fleet officially. And boom. All right, we've got the Dune Crusher. Now let's go ahead and take a look at some of the cars that will be facing off. So let's start off with the Rogue Hog. Blvd picked latest in his cop police themed series of picks. This car weighs in at 33.6 grams, so perfect, like right in the sweet spot. And it's definitely got, the thing that I like about it is this sort of flow from the hood section right to the windshield roof, right to the back over these sirens and to the back. It's very similar to what we see with the BlitzSpeeder, and just this smooth transition, nothing to really interrupt the airflow. This engine does have a couple of little ridges here, but I don't know that that's going to be so much of a problem. The sirens aren't sticking up, and the lights aren't sticking up in the same way that they were on the Alpha Pursuit, so probably this should be pretty good. It's got the bigger wheels, the 5 spokes, standard wheels in the front, so I like this car's chances. It's a little rough around the edges in terms of the appearance because my son played with it, but the wheels and axles are all straight. So we'll see what happens. All right, so we've got the Rogue Hog. Then we have Christopher's pick, which is this Oracle Red Bull Racing. It weighs in at 26.3 grams, so it's very light, and that may help it in the end, or not. This was the car that I was mentioning. We put it in the wind tunnel, but because it's so narrow, because it's such a unique design, we weren't really able to tell all that much from this car being in the wind tunnel. We do know that F1 cars, it's interesting, they're not, the whole idea behind them, like, yes, they're aerodynamic, but really they're designed to create downforce, to press the car down against the track because they're moving at such high speeds and have to make those turns that you want to have that grip. So they're really designed to direct the airflow to create downforce as opposed to being extremely aerodynamic and having a low kind of drag coefficient. So we'll see what happens with this car. It's very light. It's definitely the lightest car that we're looking at today. So we'll see what happens with this one. All right. Next up, let's see. We've got Roughshod's RDO4, and it turns out this one is. I've mentioned in the past that there are a few cars that my son got from McDonald's. This one weighs in at 33.9 grams. And he got them in Happy Meals, and they had this little series with these Hot Wheels cars where they have a light inside. And you hit that switch, and then the light comes on inside. And you can even see on the bottom here, it says manufactured for McDonald's Corporation. Right there. So the light no longer works. My son is about to turn 24, so he got this when he was little, so that just shows you. So the light doesn't work anymore. But we're gonna see what happens with this car. It's just a wild design, and I don't know what to expect from it. I don't know that it's going to be able to hang with some of the, like the Formula. I know I'm not Formula Flashback. A couple of the other cars that seem to have a more aerodynamic profile, but this does. I think this car going up against the Invader, going up against the Drone Duty, going up against the Dune Crusher, I think it could beat any of those cars. So we're gonna see. Very interesting. The back end is flat right here, down low. This bumper. So we'll see what happens with this one. Let me make sure the light isn't working. Is the light working? No, it is not. Nope, no light. All right, but we'll keep that one in. Virgo picked the Horseplay. I think this might be a sleeper. This car weighs in at 32.5 grams, so right at the front end of the sweet spot, which is 32 to 36 grams. So that looks pretty good. Beyblader, yeah, I feel good about that match, that car too. This one in particular, I think this one might be the one. I like it because it's wide, it's compact, and when we look at that profile right here, and we talk about, now it does have a big frontal area right there, so the air would stack up there, and then it would flow over, under, and around. When it comes over the top, there's not much slope to the windshield, and then we're seeing something similar that we see with the BlitzSpeeder, is that transition from the roof, from the windshield to the roof to the back end of the car. There's no drop off. Some of the cars, more traditional cars, where they have a drop off from the back of the roof down the back windshield to the trunk area, that's when we see the air start to separate, the airflow separate. With this one, I don't know that we'll see that. So this car could, that's the one to keep an eye on. That is definitely the one to keep an eye on. All the others, you know, who knows what's going to happen. This one I think pretty good shot to be there at the end. So we've got the Horseplay. Let's see what else. Let's go and check out the Invader. What is the Invader weighing in at? The Invader is coming in. The Invader's coming in massive at 45.9 grams. This is something. So, first of all, it's got kind of standard Hot Wheels wheels in the back, but then the wheels that are in the front, the four wheels that are in the front, are all very small. So you can see that. They're just smaller wheels. And we are going to definitely find out. With this one, I think that weight is going to be just brutal. The back end is flat, which is good. I think with the cannon right here, this whole area is not the most aerodynamic situation. And I think that I think there's going to be a lot working against this one. I think the drag, I think the gravity from the weight, but it's got these extra wheels, if that can help, should be interesting. I think that probably this one against that Dune Crusher, that would probably be an interesting matchup that it could probably maybe win. But even with that Dune Crusher didn't weigh that much. So there's a whole thing. Neverending says the cannon is to shoot the BlitzSpeeder. That might be its only hope. That might be its only hope of defeating the BlitzSpeeder. Hey, Caitlin. All right, cool. You got in got in right under the wire, and she's going with, yeah, if the turret wasn't there, then it would probably take off a lot of that weight, and that would probably make a pretty big difference. But we've got the turret, and we've got, I wonder if it turns. No, it doesn't turn, it doesn't move, doesn't do anything. All right, so Caitlin is going with car number 425. Let's see what that is, and then I can grab that just before we hit the track. Car number 425 is the... Oh, see there. Here's what the matchup we need to see is the Invader against the Tanknator. Now, the Tanknator, it's got those off-road wheels in the back. It's got the regular wheels in the front, but it's a more compact, like a little mini tank. So let's see. All right, let's see what... oh, okay. It's funny because when we were looking at the, what was it, the Project Speeder, I was trying to think of the car that Christopher said the Muscle Speeder, and I know we have one of those, and I was thinking it was red. I think this is actually the car that I was thinking about incorrectly, and this one is the Boulevard Bruiser number 425. 4, and my pen has died. There we go. 425 Boulevard Bruiser, and that is Caitlin's pick. And let me grab that car, and while I grab it, you can take a more extensive look at the Invader. Okay, all right, the Boulevard Bruiser. Yeah, this is a good looking car. I like this one a lot. Weighs in at 35.1 grams, so it's still right there in the sweet spot. It's got wide tires at the back. It has some standard tires in the front. It's got this whole, I get kind of almost like Lightning McQueen kind of vibes from it. And this is, I mean, the back end is flat. It's wide enough. It's not too narrow, so it shouldn't be bumping around, even though it does seem to taper a little bit in the front, but otherwise, solid pick. So I like this car a lot. I like the design of it. I like its chances. I like the weight. The wheel setup, all good. So we're going to see how this all plays out. And then the last car that I brought up before, that I just picked up, and it's just a different version. This is the version of the Blitz Speeder that I picked up yesterday. And so if the Blitz Speeder, our Blitz Speeder, turns out to be the winner today, then we'll have a Blitz Speeder versus Blitz Speeder, just a little showdown. And it's got those 5-spoke wheels. They look like faster than ever wheels, but I don't know that. But with the faster than ever cars, it's the axle that's the thing. The axle is nickel plated, which reduces the friction, which allows the wheels to spin more freely. And so that's the thing with those. It's not actually just the wheels. So we have our lineup. We have a bunch of cars ready to go. We are looking at a solid afternoon of races. Let me get back here. And just in case this is your first time viewing an all about aerodynamics at the track live race, this is what you are going to see. The cars are going to start at the top of the screen on the left, our launch cam. And I'll give a countdown, 3, 2, 1, race. The cars will come firing out of the launcher. They will come from top to bottom. They will pass out of the bottom of the screen on the left. They will show up at the top of the screen in the middle. They will go from top to bottom, pass out of the screen in the middle, and they will show up at the top of the screen on the right, our finish line cam. They will come from top to bottom. They will cross the finish line, and the winning car will be indicated with a solid red light. A solid red light indicates the winning car. A flashing red light indicates the losing car. So, solid red light, you're good. Flashing red light, you lost. And the cars will switch lanes after each race. The races are best 2 out of 3. The cars will race again, and the first car to take 2 races will move on in the tournament. If a car crashes and leaves the track, then we simply throw out the results of that race and restart the race. If a car crashes twice consecutively, then it is disqualified, because if a car crashes twice consecutively, usually it means there's some issue with the car and the launcher that isn't going to be solved by just launching the car. So we have that, and that's pretty much all you need to know. And we are going to head over to the track, and I will see you over there in 30 seconds. We are about ready to go. I just always have to double check the audio. 1, 2. Yep, we're good. All right. We have a very interesting mix of cars ready to race today, and we are going to find out if the BlitzSpeeder is going to just continue its reign, or if someone has found a car that is ready to knock it off. We've got the Invader, we've got the Rogue Hog, we've got the Boulevard Bruiser, the RDO4, Horseplay, the Red Bull Racing, Oracle F1 car. We've got this Formula Flashback. We've got the Project Speed, and we're ready to go. So let's see what is going to be a good, solid matchup. Let's go. We're going right off the bat. We're going to go Dune Crusher versus Roughshod's RDO4 and see if the Dune Crusher can be the first car with these off-road knobby tires to do something. Maybe it can, maybe it can't. We're going to find out. So we're going to put the Dune Crusher in lane 1, and we will put the RDO4, the McDonald's Happy Meals car with the little, probably not an LED light, because if it were LED, it would still be functioning. Probably. I don't know. All right. The RDO4 is in lane 2. The Dune Crusher is in lane 1. Race 1. Here we go. Three, 2, 1, race. Oh! Well, that was something. So the Dune Crusher was out in the lead, shockingly out in the lead. It gets to the back end of the track and somehow manages to crash. It flies up in the air, flies over the top of the finish line, and fortunately, or unfortunately, just depending on where you stand, if you're roughshod, what you wanted was for the Dune Crusher to crash but land on the track, because then you would have taken the race. Instead, what happened was the Dune Crusher came off the track, so we throw out the results of that race and just line them up again. But the Dune Crusher had a huge lead until it crashed. And usually it's interesting because we don't see cars crash at the back end of the track like that. If they're going to crash, they usually crash at the front and hit one of the first barriers. So we're going to line this up again, but here's the other thing. If the Dune Crusher crashes again, then it is going to be disqualified. So the RDO4 might not be the fastest car in this matchup, but it has the possibility to move on if the Dune Crusher crashes again and leaves the track. So we're going to see, let me just get these cars lined up, if this RDO4, this McDonald's light bulb racer, can get the job done, or if it's going to be the Dune Crusher that moves on. All right, Dune Crusher lane 1, RDO4, I think we're on 4, RDO4, whatever, in lane 2. Here we go. Three, two, one, race. Okay, so the Dune Crusher took that, and it is the first, I mean, it could be, if it takes another race, the first car with these off-road wheels to do well on the track. I don't know, this RDO4, it's going to need to show me something on this next pass. Otherwise, it will be the first car off to the side, waiting for the results. So now we're switching lanes. We've got the Dune Crusher in lane 2. We've got the RDO4 in lane 1. Race number 2, here we go. Three, two, one, race. Wow, that was not even kind of close. So the Dune Crusher, the first car with the off-road wheels to take a race on our track. So that's, I guess, a historical event, significant event. Yeah, historical might be a little strong. Significant event is what it is, so we'll keep it there. All right, so the Dune Cruiser, why do I keep the Dune Crusher? Yeah. All right, let's see. We are going to go with, I got to see what this Invader is going to do. We're going to go Invader versus Drone Duty. So this should be interesting, and we're going with the Drone Duty. We're going to leave the drone attached. I don't think that the Drone Duty is going to need any additional assistance. Just checking. So we're going to get the Invader set up in lane 2. And then we are going to get the Drone Duty set up in lane 1. This is it. This is, like I said, I can't knock the pick. It is a bold choice and pick to go with a tank in a drag race. But, hey, you never know what can happen. That's why we race the cars. So here we go. We've got Drone Duty in lane 1. We've got the Invader, the tank, in lane 2. Race 1, here we go. Three, two, one, race. And that is why we run the races. The Invader took the race. You see from the solid red light, it was close, but the Invader took it. It took it by a turret. It took it by a, you know, the tip of the turret, the cannon, whatever. The Invader, I had no, it's heavier. It's the heaviest car by far that we've got racing today. And if it can take this next race, it will be moving on. So we got the drone duty that's gonna have some work to do because it lost to a tank that weighed significantly more. All right, got them lined up again. Invader in lane 1, drone duty in lane 2. Here we go. Three, two, one, race. The Invader rolled its way right to a victory. This is interesting because we've got two cars, and again, this is why we have to race the cars. We have two cars that I never would have expected to be moving ahead already as the first two cars that have moved ahead. The Dune Crusher and the Invader. So they're just sitting back waiting to see how the rest of these races play out. We are going to go now. Let's go with Caitlin's Boulevard Bruiser against this Project Speed. Okay, here we go. And I think these are two cars. So the Project Speeder was one that was in the mystery pack that I picked up, and I like it. It's a good looking car. And this Boulevard Bruiser is just beautiful. I love it. Like I said, it's giving me kind of Lightning McQueen vibes. It is lined up in lane 2. The Boulevard Bruiser and the Project Speeder is in lane 1. Race 1, here we go. Three, two, one, race. Woo. This was a good close race. Project Speeder took it. Not by much, but you don't have to win by much. You just have to win. So we are going to switch lanes and see what happens. And get the Project Speeder lined up in lane number 2. Boulevard Bruiser coming in to lane number 1. Cars are lined up, ready to go. Boulevard Bruiser lane 1, Project Speeder lane 2. Race number 2, here we go. Three, two, one, race. Another close race. Uh-oh, the Boulevard, or the Project Speeder, which took that race, bounced all the way back and tapped the starting block. Why is that significant? It's significant because we're seeing an example of Isaac Newton's third law of motion. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. And these cars go down, and there's a memory foam barrier at the end of the track, just past the finish line. The cars hit that. Depending on the amount of force they hit that with, it's going to have the equal and opposite reaction and send the car back. If the car hit, the more force the car hits the memory foam barrier with, the further back it's going to come. We see that with the BlitzSpeeder a lot because it's so fast. It hits that barrier, bounces all the way back down the track, and taps the launching block. And we just saw that with the Project Speeder. So that might be a car to keep an eye on because that is not something that's typical. All right, next up, we're going to go with the Rogue Hog versus Horseplay. So we've got Virgo's pick, we've got Beyblade's pick. And we are lining these two cars up. I said before that both of these cars, I think that the Rogue Hog is a solid pick. And I expect that this Horseplay car could be a sleeper. But I guess it's hard to call any car a sleeper when we just had a tank and an off-road truck with off-road tires win races. So we'll see what happens. We've got the Rogue Hog in lane 1. We've got Horseplay in lane 2. Cars are lined up, ready to go. Race 1, here we go. Three, two, one, race. Woo. Okay, so the Horseplay took that by a lot, but what I did see was towards the back end of the track, the Rogue Hog was closing the gap, which means that drag was impacting the Horseplay car towards the back end of the track and slowing it down. The problem was that it had opened up such a lead that the Rogue Hog just didn't have the opportunity to catch up. Maybe if we'd had a half-mile track instead of a quarter mile, it could have gotten the job done, but that was not the case. So watching this race, so we switched lanes. Horseplay's in lane 1. We've got the Rogue Hog in lane 2. Watch, especially in that third camera. What you want to look for is, does it look like the Rogue Hog is speeding up, and does it look like the Horseplay is slowing down? That's what you kind of want to keep an eye out for. So here we go. Race 2, we've got Horseplay in lane 1, Rogue Hog in lane 2. Three, two, one, race. And that's exactly what we just saw. As the cars got towards that back third of the track, it looked like the Rogue Hog was picking up speed, which we know is not the case. What happened was that the Horseplay slowed down. So the Horseplay is going to need in this third race, because the Rogue Hog took that, so we're going to switch lanes and run this third race. But in order for the Horseplay to win, it's going to have to get out to another huge lead, because in that first race, it got out to a big lead, but then the Rogue Hog started closing the gap, and the Rogue Hog just ran out of track. In that second race, the Rogue Hog was able to stay close and then close the gap. So the Horseplay is going to need a really good launch, and it's going to need a lead, and it's going to need to be able to hold on to that lead through the end of the track. So here we go. Horseplay is now in lane 2, Rogue Hog in lane 1, race 3, here we go. Three, two, one, race. The Rogue Hog took off and did not look back. The Rogue Hog takes that race, and that is pretty much, that was an interesting series, because usually the races, if we end up having to go to a third race, the races tend to be pretty close, especially if both cars got solid launches, as long as nothing weird happened. So it's unusual that we had one race that wasn't close, one race that was close, and then a blowout. It's just, we kind of had everything. All right, next up, we are going to go with Christopher's Oracle Red Bull Racing, this F1 car. And then we are going to, this Formula 1 car against the, Formula Flashback. So we are going to see, we have two similar, one's an actual F1 style car, and the other one's more of an F1 style fantasy car. It is the one that came in the 8-pack that I picked up yesterday, and I liked it because it had that long extended wing that reminded me of what we see with the BlitzSpeeder. So we are going to see which of these cars is going to come out on top, the actual F1 car or the fantasy version. If I can get these cars to stay in place in the starting block. All right, we are ready to go. We have the Oracle Red Bull F1 racing car in lane 2. We have the Formula Flashback in lane 1. Here we go, race 1. 3, 2, 1, race. Woohoo! The actual F1 car said, yeah, I'm taking this race by a lot, and simply blew the, well, there aren't any doors on the Formula Flashback. Doesn't have any doors. Maybe it blew the wheels off, blew something off. All I know is this car is going to have to make a pretty monumental turnaround if it wants to force a third race. Otherwise, the legit F1 car will be moving on. So we're going to switch lanes, and we're going to put the F1 car, the Oracle Red Bull F1 car, in lane 1. The Formula Flashback is now set up in lane number 2. Race number 2, here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. That race was closer, but not close enough, because the Oracle Red Bull racing car took it again, not by as big a margin, but once again, you don't have to win by the biggest margin, you just have to win by a margin, and you win. So, we have narrowed down our field. We have 5 cars left. That would be the Invader, the Dune Crusher, the Project Speeder, and the Rogue Hog, and this Oracle F1 car. So let's go. Let's go. We'll go Dune Crusher versus Rogue Hog. That is what is happening next. Dune Crusher with the surprise. It would be the most surprising victory in round 1, but we've got a tank. We have an actual tank that is in the mix as well. So the Dune Crusher had the second most surprising performance in round 1, and we will see if it can carry that over against the Rogue Hog. And we have the cars lined up, and we're going to find out if Beyblade's Rogue Hog is going to put up another stellar performance, or if the Dune Crusher is going to surprise us again. Dune Crusher lane 2, Rogue Hog lane 1, race 1, here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. The Dune Crusher lost, but it hung in there, like much more than I would have expected. So that's, I mean, this is easily, so far, from what I can tell, this is the fastest and best of these off-road tire cars that we've seen on our track ever. So let's bring these cars back and switch lanes and see if the Rogue Hog can make it a clean sweep for Beyblader, or if the Dune Crusher is going to force a third race. Here we go. Dune Crusher lane 1, Rogue Hog lane 2, race 2, here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. I thought the Dune Crusher was going to pull it out. It had a lead. It was close. It was hanging in there. But again, it's the back end of the track. What you see is drag matters. It absolutely matters, because the Dune Crusher started to slow down a little more than the Rogue Hog. The Rogue Hog caught it and passed it, and I think that's kind of the Rogue Hog's mentality. It's a police car. It's always in that pursuit mode, and it closes those gaps right at the back end of the track. And again, drag matters, which is what we talk about on Wind Tunnel Wednesday. Drag matters. All right, so the Rogue Hog is moving on. We are going to go next. We're going to go Invader versus Project. What is this? The Project Speeder. Project Speeder versus the Invader. Can the Invader, can it continue to surprise us? The fact that it's already here in this second round is a huge surprise, at least to me. It is possible that Never Ending knows things that we just aren't aware of. And he made this selection. He's one of only 2 people to ever pick the Invader, but so far it's paid off. So we've got the Invader in lane 2. We've got the Project Speeder in lane 1. Race 1, here we go. Three, two, one, race. The Invader really did hang in there. It lost the race, but not by much. I mean, the fact is, I had to, from the start position, I had to look at the lights on the finish line. And usually when I have to do that, it's because the race is very close. So the Invader hung in there, and I thought it was going to take that race. It didn't, but it did very well. All right, but now doing very well is not good enough. It is going to need to win, but it also, I don't know what it says about this Project Speeder that it had so much trouble, such a close race against a tank that weighs significantly more. So we're gonna have to see. All right, we've got the Project Speeder in lane 2. We have the Invader in lane 1. Race number 2, here we go. Three, two, one, race. Okay, Project Speeder clearly took that one. The Invader, though, not as slow as I would have expected from a car this size. I think if it's racing other cars of similar size, it would definitely beat them out. There's probably a couple of those buses that we had a few weeks ago that it would beat out. But the Project Speeder, a little too much. All right, so let's go. We'll just go Project Speeder versus the Oracle Red Bull F1 car and see who is going to take on the Rogue Hog in the finals. Let's get these cars set up and lined up. We've got the Oracle Red Bull F1 car in lane 2. We have the Project Speeder in lane number 1. Race 1, here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. Project Speeder took it. Both cars bounced back on the rebound and had a little. One's upside down. Well, they're both upside down. One's just upside down and off the track, and the other one's just upside down. So that was race number 1. Project Speeder took that with ease, which is surprising because the Project Speeder just had a problem beating the Invader. So either the Invader is significantly faster than I'm giving it credit for, or the Project Speeder is just having one of those kind of up and down days. So we're switching lanes. Project Speeder's in lane 2. The Oracle Red Bull F1 car is in lane 1. We are just about. There we go. All right, Project Speeder in lane 2, Oracle Red Bull in lane 1, race 2, here we go. Three, two, one, race. And look at this Project Speeder come all the way back. taps the launching block. It took it. So now we're talking about the Rogue Hog versus the Project Speeder, the winner to challenge the Blitz Speeder. So we have the Rogue Hog, the latest police car selection from Blvd, and we are going to have one of these cars. Now the Project Speeder, when it struggled against the Invader, but then twice it's hit with enough force on the back end to come back and tap the launching block, which is significant. That shows that this car is capable of moving at a pretty impressive rate of speed. Okay, we have the Project Speeder in lane 1. We have the Rogue Hog in lane 2. Race 1. This is the finals. Here we go. Three, two, one, race. Oh, that wasn't even kind of close. Although, it's weird that the Rogue Hog bounces back further, faster, but it didn't cross the finish line first. So, that's an odd thing that we haven't seen before. But the Rogue Hog will have another opportunity to take a race as we switch lanes right here and get the Rogue Hog locked in to lane 1 and get the Project Speeder in lane number 2. All right, here we go. We've got the Project Speeder in lane 2. We've got the Rogue Hog in lane 1. And here we go. Three, two, one, race. That race was closer. Is the Project Speeder going to tap? Oh, it stops just about a half an inch, a quarter of an inch short of tapping the launching block. But the Project Speeder is, in fact, today's tournament winner. It is now going to challenge the Blitz Speeder. And I'll say this, the Project Speeder has a shot, because any car that hits with enough force to come all the way back and tap the launching block is moving down the track at a high rate of speed. That is BlitzSpeeder territory. So this might be the car coming out of the mystery bag. It could be the car to take down the BlitzSpeeder. Could it be the car that we never expected? It just happened to be a car that I picked up in a mystery bag. Could that be the car that takes out the fastest Hot Wheels car on the planet? We are about to find out. We have the BlitzSpeeder lined up in lane 1. If I can get it to stay in place. We have the Project Speeder in lane 2. Come on. All right, here we go. This is for the fastest in fleet title. We have the Project Speeder in lane 2. We have the Blitz Speeder in lane 1. Speeder versus Speeder for the fastest in fleet title. Race 1, here we go. Three, two, one, race. And the Blitz Speeder handles its business. The Project Speeder did not get the kind of launch that led it to come all the way back and tap the starting block, so it didn't have that same level of speed. Blitz Speeder beat it out, but that's just one race. And the Project Speeder, we've seen it's got speed. It's got the speed part of the speeder, but does it have enough to beat the Blitz Speeder? That is ultimately going to be the question. Blitz Speeder is now lined up in lane 2. The Project Speeder is lined up in lane 1. Race number 2, here we go. Three, two, one, race. Blitz Speeder remains. It's coming all the way back. Is it going to tap the block? No, but it did enough to beat out the Project Speeder, which had a good showing. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to take that other Blitz Speeder that I just picked up, and we're going to have a Blitz Speeder versus BlitzSpeeder race. And this is just an exhibition because it's the same car. But what we should find out is this race should be close. And what we want to see is if these cars have a close race, then we know that it's more about the design of the BlitzSpeeder versus it just being about this specific BlitzSpeeder that we have that's been dominant. So OG BlitzSpeeder, the champion BlitzSpeeder, is in lane 2. The BlitzSpeeder that I just picked up the other day is in lane 1. So fastest in fleet champion in lane 2, contender in lane 1. So let's see what happens with these two BlitzSpeeders. 3, 2, 1, race. So as expected, the race was close, and our BlitzSpeeder took that race, and we'll see what happens when we switch lanes. But I think it's just already that result right there just shows that it's the design of the BlitzSpeeder that is kind of the key factor in it being fast and doing well on our track. It reduces the impact of drag, and that is significant. It's probably the most significant thing you can do on our track. All right, so now we've switched lanes. We have our fastest in fleet BlitzSpeeder in lane 1. We have the contender BlitzSpeeder in lane 2. Race 2, here we go. Three, 2, 1, race. I mean, those cars were pretty much nose to nose. Our fastest in fleet BlitzSpeeder, as you can see from the solid red light, took that race. So it remains the fastest in fleet champion. We learned a little bit more, and I'm going to gather up these cars, head back into the garage, and we're going to take a look at the winners, the losers, and some of the results in just a minute. So in the matchup of BlitzSpeeder versus BlitzSpeeder, the BlitzSpeeder that is our existing fastest in fleet champion, the gold one, came out on top. And but the races were close, and the races were so close that we know now that it's not just about our car having some kind of special gift or talent or wheel setup or anything like that. It is the design of the BlitzSpeeder. And like I said, the BlitzSpeeder reduces the impact of drag. And if you join us on Wind Tunnel Wednesday, the BlitzSpeeder is always the first car that we put into the wind tunnel, and you can see exactly how the air is flowing over that car and why the way the air flows over that car matters. When the air hits the BlitzSpeeder, it hits this front. It doesn't have a big frontal area. Air hits the front, streams up the hood, up the windshield, up to the roof. And this is the part where I think it's key. For most cars, the air starts to break away from following the lines of the car right around the top of the roof line. With the BlitzSpeeder, the air stays in contact with the body of the car right across the back, off through the back end right here, off the tail, and it doesn't separate. And we go into why that's important and significant, and how that creates the air separation, creates pressure drag, and different areas of high pressure and low pressure, and what that all means. The BlitzSpeeder also doesn't have anything sticking up to trap the air in. There's the driver's canopy is enclosed. There's no openings. There are no little pieces and parts on any part of this car to trap the air. One thing we saw with the salt shaker, we saw it with that Ford GT last week, that it had a little pocket that definitely air was going into, but it couldn't flow out of. So air is getting trapped in. And with the BlitzSpeeder, we saw how close the races were. Yes, the gold BlitzSpeeder did come out on top, but not by much. And the races were very close, which shows that it's the design of the car that matters in this case. If the results we saw were that the gold BlitzSpeeder blew out the green one, well, then we might have to wonder, is there something special about this specific car? But that's not the case. The races were extremely as close as any race that the BlitzSpeeder has had, other than when it lost to the Gazella. But that's it. So we know it's the design of the car. When you're picking, you might want to keep that that thought in mind, or you can go totally in the absolute opposite direction of the conventional thinking, and you can go with something like this, the Invader. This is the surprise of the day, because the Invader almost beat the Project Speeder. It won one race, which was shocking and surprising. I didn't expect it. But then it came back and beat out the Project Speed. I mean, almost beat the Project Speeder. It was very close. And for a car that weighs this much to perform that well, it's one of those things that makes you have to kind of rethink what exactly is happening. What's going on that is allowing this car to be so to perform so well, given the size. Like, everything about this truck, this tank, says it shouldn't do well. The only thing it has going for it is the flat back end that presses up against the launching block. But other than that, the weight, the aerodynamic profile, all of that says this should not be competitive. But it's why we take the cars to the track, because it turns out it was surprising. And if it didn't beat the I don't know why I can't think of the name, the Project Speeder. It didn't beat the Project Speeder, but it came close. And so that means there's a lot of other cars in the fleet that this thing could beat out. So I think we're going to have to put it in the wind tunnel on Wednesday, even though I kind of know what we're going to see when it's in the wind tunnel. It's just a matter of, I don't know, there's something else working with this tank that is making it perform the way that it did. So that was the surprise performance of the day. We also had the Dune Crusher was doing pretty well. It's the first car with these knobby off-road tires that we've had do well on our tracks, so that is a plus, and kind of keep that in mind. I have a whole bunch of trucks that have these tires, but the trucks are too wide in most cases to fit into the launching channel, so I can't have those kind of races. I can't have all the truck races that I want. I have a whole box just full of trucks, but can't race them, so it's part of the problem. For example, like I have this one. This is one I like. This milk truck, monster truck thing, but it's too wide, so can't race. Let's see. We've already, like I said, locked and loaded. We've already got some picks coming in for next week. Let's see. Roughshod. Oh, Roughshod is going with. This is This is one of the good ones. He is going with number 161, which is the Street Wiener, I believe. 161. Yep, there it is, the Street Wiener, the hot dog car. And this car has been picked before. I had a student who picked it, and it won the tournament at that particular school. So, again, it's all about matchups. And we're going to find out if the Street Wiener has what it takes, or if the mustard is going to come off this hot dog, and we'll see. So, we've got the Street Wiener, and then Christopher is considering, oh yeah, that grill. Yeah, the grill on the back does pop open, and it opens forward. So, I mean, it doesn't open like a trunk. It opens like the reverse way. And so we're going to have to make sure that when it races, that is closed. Because if that's open, it's going to trap the air in. It's basically going to work like a parachute. And it's going to trap air in and slow the car down. So we're definitely going to have to make sure that stays closed. I have another one of these that's not opened. So if this one, for some reason that we can't get that grill to stay closed, I have another one just waiting that I was going to give to my son, because he, for some reason, he likes those out here. If you go to any kind of concert or sporting event, there's people outside with these little grills out on the street, and they sell these hot dogs wrapped in bacon with all kinds of peppers and onions and stuff on them. To me, I wouldn't touch those things, but he loves them for whatever reason. And so I picked up that Street Wiener car to give to him, since that's what he likes. But anyway, if this grill can't stay closed, then I will open that other one. We'll clamp that grill closed and race this car. Beyblade, he's going to make his pick on Wednesday. No problem. Christopher is considering a couple of cars, and so I presume, yep, he's going to check them out in the wind tunnel. So let me put that down, and we'll see which are the two cars he's considering. He's considering car number 238. Let's see what that is. 238. Okay, this Roger Dodger 2.0. Interesting pick. These cars with the engine block sticking up, it's kind of, I suppose it's kind of hit or miss. It just depends on how much drag they're creating, which, if it's even just a little bit, it could hurt. It could hurt the overall performance, but you never know until the cars race, and we'll see. So he's considering either car number 238, which is this one, or he's considering car number 287. Let's see what that is. 287 is the, okay, this Mercedes AMG. And now what's interesting with this one is, in looking at it, we can tell it's a metal body on a plastic base. So who knows what the weight is going to be like on this car. Otherwise, I mean, it's got this giant splitter in the front. The wing, the flat wing that's right at the roof line, I like seeing that. That means it's going to get a good solid push out of the launching block. So I think when we put these both in the wind tunnel, we'll probably get some different, like a better outcome and a better aerodynamic profile from this car. But you never know. With the fantasy cars, it's really hard to tell sometimes. So we will check that out. Never Ending, he has got his pick, and he is going with 531. So let's see what that is. 531. Scrolling down, I just saw the Alpha Pursuit. We're out of cop cars, Beyblader, I think. But let's see. We're looking for 531. 531 is This one, wow. Okay, another out-of-the-box pick. Multiple wheels. This is the, what was it called? The Air Fortress? The Fast Fortress. And it's based on the World War II Flying Fortress airplane. And this one, I remember it racing not too long ago, last year, because I picked it up at a Hot Wheels swap meet, which I may be going to tomorrow. I saw on Instagram that they're going to be having it tomorrow, so I might go check that out and see if there's any more Hot Wheels cars. Usually it's cars from the 90s. When I wasn't into Hot Wheels, I didn't start collecting Hot Wheels again until after my son was born. So I usually go there looking for unusual cars, and that ends up being cars from the 90s. But this is an interesting pick. You would think, though, with a car that is made after an airplane, obviously the aerodynamics should be kind of on point, but this is not sort of a conventional airplane style. So we'll have to see how this car performs, what it weighs. It looks like that green part is plastic, and then all the black part on the bottom is metal. If that's the case, this could be pretty heavy. It's definitely big, but it could be pretty heavy. So we'll find out. This is the Fast Fortress, and we are already set up to have some good, interesting matchups next week. And if you join us on Wind Tunnel Wednesday, as I mentioned at the beginning, I finally received this from Funtech Labs. It is the dyno, and we'll be able to put the cars on here, and it will simulate the cars actually. I keep using this green car. It will simulate the cars rolling, and it will spin the wheels, and it will raise the cars up just a little bit, and we will be able to take advantage of more of the streams of smoke that are going through the wind tunnel, and hopefully kind of be able to see what happens beneath the car. We already can see what happens with the airflow over the top of the car, but what happens underneath? So raising this up, raising the cars up should be beneficial, and it should be cool, presuming this works. So it's got a little USB-C port in the back, and so hopefully there is some battery there would have to be, because it's got the USB-C port, so it's charged up. It will charge up, and then but it does have spaces here for batteries, so I may have to put two AAA batteries in here in order to put it in the wind tunnel, because otherwise, if it just requires a USB-C port, then I can't have that cord going into the wind tunnel. So we'll work it out, and we'll have a look at the Runsible, and you can buy it on their website. I think they're going for about $30 or $40 right now. But I would suggest, if you're thinking about buying one of these to have on your desk or to do something with, just join us on Wednesday, and we'll check it out, and I will kind of give my thoughts and do a review, and you'll get to see in real time if it's maybe something you want to purchase or not. I was checking on their website, and the Runsible, the wind tunnel, the latest version of it, is about $250, $300, something in that, or maybe about $250, something right around there. There's a 1/18 scale version and a 1/24 scale version that are both about $500 and $600 respectively. So it's a lot of money to spend, and and like I said, mine has some little quirks to it, but for the most part, I like it, and it's been pretty beneficial to kind of show us why certain cars perform the way they do on the track. And I'm looking forward to this Wednesday adding in the Runsible. So that's Wednesday, 4 p.m., YouTube, Instagram, and Twitch. We will be back here on Saturday. More races at 11 a.m. Pacific. YouTube and Twitch. If you want to watch any of the episodes or races after the fact, which most people do, you can go to our YouTube channel under the live tab, scroll down, find the episodes you want. There are time codes, so you can jump right to the race that you want to see, or the review that you want to hear, or just watch the whole episode. Whatever you want to do, you're welcome to do that. That is what we have going on. Again, if you want more information about our science program, all about aerodynamics, follow us on Instagram, AA Aerodynamics. All of the information is in the bio. Go to the website, aaerodynamics.com, and everything you need to know is there. So, for At the Track Live, I am Coach James, and I appreciate everyone who participated, and hope to see you back here on Saturday for another set of races. Have a great weekend. And for At the Track Live, for All About Aerodynamics, and for Wind Tunnel Wednesday, I am Coach James, and I will see you at the races.